Emily Dickinson, Complete Poems of, edited by Thomas H. Johnson. 50. I haven't told my garden yet, lest that should conquer me. I haven't quite the strength now to break it to the bee. I will not name it in the street, for shops would stare at me. That one so shy, so ignorant, should have the face to die. The hillsides must not know it, where I have rambled so, nor tell the loving forest the day that I shall go, nor lisp it at the table, nor heedless by the way, hint that within the riddle one will walk today. I often passed the village when going home from school, and wondered what they did there, and why it was so still. I did not know the year then, in which my call would come, earlier by the dial than the rest have gone. It's stiller than the sundown, it's cooler than the dawn. The daisies dare to come here, and birds can flutter down. So when you are tired, perplexed, or cold, trust the loving promise underneath the mold. Cry, "It's I! Take Dolly!" and I will enfold. Whether my bark went down at sea, whether she met with gales, whether to isles enchanted she bent her docile sails, by what mystic mooring she is held today, this is the errand of the eye out upon the bay. Taken from men this morning, carried by men today, met by the gods with banners, who marshalled her away, one little maid from playmates, one little mind from school. There must be guests in Eden, all the rooms are full, far as the east from even, dim as the border star, courtiers quaint, kingdoms are departed are. If I should die, and you should live, and time should gurgle on, and morn should beam, and noon should burn, as it has usual done, if birds should build as early, and bees as bustling go, one might depart an option from enterprise below. 'Tis sweet to know that stocks will stand when we with daisies lie, that commerce will continue, and trades as briskly fly. It makes the parting tranquil, and keeps the soul serene, that gentlemen so sprightly conduct the pleasing scene. By chivalries as tiny a blossom or book, the seeds of smiles are planted, which blossom in the dark. If I should cease to bring a rose upon a festal day, 'twill be because beyond the rose I have been called away. If I should cease to make the names my buds commemorate, 'twill be because death's finger claps my murmuring lip. To venerate the simple days which lead the seasons by, needs but to remember that from you or I they may take the trifle termed mortality. Delayed till she had ceased to know, delayed till in its vest of snow her loving bosom lay, an hour behind the fleeting breath, later by just an hour than death. Oh, lagging yesterday! Could she have guessed that it would be could but a crier of the joy have climbed the distant hill, had not the bliss so slow a pace, who knows but this surrendered face were undefeated still? Oh, if there may departing be any forgot by victory in her imperial round, show them this meek apparelled thing that could not stop be a king, doubtful if it be crowned. A little east of Jordan, evangelists record a gymnast and an angel did wrestle long and hard, till morning touching mountain, and Jacob waxing strong, the angel begged permission to breakfast to return. Not so, said cunning Jacob, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me, stranger. Though which, acceded to, light swung the silver fleeces, Peniel hills beyond, and the bewildered gymnast found he had worsted God. 60. Like her the saints retire in their chapel of fire, martial as she. Like her the evening steel purple and cochineal after the day. Departed both, they say, i.e. gathered away, not found. Argues the aster still, reasons the daffodil, profound. Papa above, regard a mouse, overpowered by the cat. Reserve within thy kingdom a mansion for the rats, snug in seraphic cupboards, to nibble all the day, while unsuspecting cycles wheel solemnly away. Sown in dishonor, ah, indeed, may this dishonor be. If I were half so fine myself, I'd notice nobody. Sown in corruption, not so fast. Apostle is askew. Corinthians 1:15 narrates a circumstance or two. If pain for peace prepares lo what Augustan years our feet await, springs from winter rise, can the anemones be reckoned up? If night stands fast, then noon to gird us for the sun. What gaze, when from 1,000 skies on our developed eyes noons blaze? Some rainbow coming from the fair, some vision of the world Kashmir, I confidently see, or else a peacock's purple train, feather by feather on the plain, fears itself away. The dreamy butterflies bestir, lethargic pools resume the whir of last year's sundered tune. From some old fortress on the sun, baronial bees march one by one, and murmuring between. The robins stand as thick today as flakes of snow stood yesterday on fence and roof and twig. The orchies bind her feather on, for her old lover Don the sun, revisiting the bog. Without commander, countless still the regiments of wood and hill in bright detachments stand. Behold, whose multitudes are these, the children of whose turban seas on what Circassian land? I can't tell you what you feel it, nor can you tell me. Saints, with ravished slate and pencil, solve our April day, sweeter than a vanished frolic from a vanished green, swifter than the hoofs of horsemen round a ledge of dream. Modest, let us walk among it, with our faces veiled, as they say polite archangels to in meeting God. Not for me to prate about it, not for you to say to some fashionable lady, charming April day. Rather heaven's Peter Parley, to which children slow to sublimer recitation are prepared to go. So from the mold, scarlet and gold, many a bulb will rise, hidden away cunningly from sagacious eyes. So from cocoon, many a worm leaps so highland gay. Peasants like me, peasants like thee, gaze perplexed. Success is counted sweetest by those who never succeed. To comprehend a nectar requires sorest need. Not one of all the purple host who took the flag today can tell the definition so clear of victory. As he defeated, dying on whose forbidden ear the distant strains of triumph burst agonizing and clear. Ambition cannot find him, affection doesn't know how many leagues of nowhere lie between them now. Yesterday undistinguished, imminent today, for our mutual honor, immortality. Lo at my problem bending, another problem comes, larger than mine, serener, involving statelier sums. I check my busy pencil, my figures file away, before my baffled fingers thy perplexity. Arcturus, 70. Arcturus is his other name. I'd rather call him Star. It's very mean of science to go and interfere. I slew a worm the other day. A savant passing by murmured, Resurgam, centipede. Oh Lord, how frail we are. I pull a flower from the woods. A monster with the glass computes the stamens in a breath and has her in a class. Whereas I took the butterfly aforetime in my hat. He sits erect in cabinets the clover bells forgot. What once was heaven is zenith now, where I propose to go when time's brief masquerade was done, is mapped and charted too. What if the poles should frisk about and stand upon their heads? I hope I'm ready for the worst, whatever prank betides. Perhaps the kingdom of heaven's changed. I hope the children there won't be new-fashioned when I come and laugh at me and stare. I hope the Father in the skies will lift his little girl, old-fashioned, naughty, everything, over the style of pearl. A throw upon the features, a hurry in the breath, an ecstasy of parting, denominated death, an anguish at the mention, which when to patience grown, I've known permission given to rejoin its own. Glowing in her bonnet, 72. Glowing is her cheek, 72. Glowing is her bonnet, glowing is her cheek, glowing is her kirtle, yet she cannot speak. Better as the daisy from the summer hill, vanish unrecorded, save by tearful rill, save by loving sunrise, looking for her face, save by feet unnumbered, pausing at the place. Who never lost are unprepared, a cornet to find, who never thirsted, flagons and cooling tamarine, who never climbed the weary league, can such a foot explore the purple territories on Pizarro shore? How many legions overcome, the emperor will say, how many colors taken on Revolution Day, how many bullets bearest hast thou the royal scar, angels right promoted on the soldier's brow. A lady red amid the hill her annual secret keeps, a lady white within the field in placid lily sleeps. The tidy breezes with their brooms sweep vale and hill and tree. Prithee, my pretty housewives, who may expected be, the neighbors do not yet suspect the woods exchange a smile, orchard and buttercup and bird in such a little while. And yet, how still the landscape stands, how nonchalant the hedge, as if the resurrection were nothing very strange. She died at play, gamboled away, her lease of spotted hours, then sank as gaily as a Turk upon a couch of flowers. Her ghost strolled softly over the hill yesterday and today, her vestments as the silver fleece, her countenance as spray. Exultation is the going of an inland soul to sea, past the houses, past the headlands, into deep eternity. Bred as we among the mountains, can the sailor understand the divine intoxication of the first league out from land? I never hear the word escape without a quicker blood, a sudden expectation, a flying attitude. I never hear of prisons broad by soldiers battered down, but I tug childish at my bars, only to fail again. A poor, torn heart, a tattered heart, that sat it down to rest, nor noticed that the ebbing day flowered silver to the west, nor noticed night did soft descend, nor constellation burn, intent upon the vision of latitudes unknown. The angels, happening that way, this dusty heart espied, tenderly look it up from toil, and carried it to God. Took it up from toil. There, sandals for the barefoot. There, gathered from the gales, do the blue havens by the hand lead the wandering sails. Going to heaven, I don't know when. Pray do not ask me how. Indeed, I'm too astonished to think of answering you. Going to heaven? How dim it sounds, and yet it will be done as sure as flocks go home at night unto the shepherd's arm. Perhaps you're going too, who knows? If you should get there first, save just a little space for me, close to the two I lost. The smallest robe will fit me, and just a bit of crown, for we do not mind our dress when we are going home. I'm glad I don't believe it, for it would stop my breath, and I'd like to look a little more at such a curious earth. I'm glad they did believe it, whom I have never found since the mighty autumn afternoon I left them in the ground. 80. Our lives are Swiss, so still, so cool, till some odd afternoon the Alps neglect their curtains, and we look farther on. Italy stands the other side, while like a guard between the solemn Alps, the siren Alps, forever intervene. We should not mind so small a flower, except it quiet bring our little garden that we lost back to the lawn again. So spicy her carnations nod, so drunken reel her bees, so silver steal 100 flutes from out 100 trees, that whoso sees this little flower by faith may clear behold the bobolinks around the throne and dandelions gold. Whose cheek is this? What rosy face has lost a blush today? I found her flayed in the woods and bore her safe away. Robins, in the tradition, did cover such with leaves, but which the cheek and which the pall my scrutiny deceives. Heart not so heavy as mine, winding late home, as it passed my window, whistled itself a tune, a careless snatch, a ballad, a ditty of the street, yet to my irritated ear an anodyne so sweet, it was as if a bobolink, sauntering this way, curled and paused and curled, then bubbled slow away. It was as if a chirping brook upon a dusty day set bleeding feet to minutes without the knowing why. Tomorrow night will come again, perhaps weary and sore. Ah, Bugle, but my window I pray you pass once more. Her breast is fit for pearls, but I was not a diver. Her brow is fit for thrones, but I have not a crest. Her heart is fit for home. I, a sparrow, build there, sweet of twigs and twine, my perennial nest. They have not chosen me, he said, but I have chosen them. Brave, broken-hearted statement uttered in Bethlehem. I could not have told it, but since Jesus dared, Sovereign, know a daisy thy dishonor shared. South winds jostle them, bumblebees come, hover, hesitate, drink, and are gone. Butterflies pause on their passage, cashmere, I, softly plucking, present them here. A darting fear, a pomp, a tear, here, awaking on a morn to find that what one waked for inhales the different dawn. As by the dead we love to sit, become so wondrous dear. As for the lost we grapple, though all the rest are here. In broken mathematics we estimate our prize, vast in its fading ratio to our penurious eyes. Some things that fly there be, birds, ours, the bumblebee, of these no elegy. Some things that stay there be, grief, hills, eternity, nor this behoveth me. There are that resting rise. Can I expound the skies, how still the riddle lies? 90. Within my reach I could have touched, I might have chanced that way. Soft sauntered through the village, sauntered as soft away. So unsuspected violets within the meadows go, too late for striving fingers that passed an hour ago. So bashful when I spied her, so pretty, so ashamed, so hidden her leaflets, lest anybody find. So breathless till I passed her, so helpless when I turned, and bore her struggling, blushing, her simple haunts beyond. For whom I robbed the dingle, for whom betrayed the dell, many will doubtless ask me, but I shall never tell. My friend must be a bird, because it flies. Mortal, my friend must be, because it dies. Barbs has it, like a bee. Ah, curious friend, thou puzzlest me. Went up a year this evening, I recollect it well, amid no bells nor bravos, the bystanders will tell. Cheerful as to the village, tranquil as to repose, chastened as to the chapel, this humble tourist rose. Did not talk of returning, alluded to no time, when, were the gales propitious, we might look for him. Was grateful for the roses in life's diverse bouquet. Talk softly of new species to pick another day. Beguiling thus the wonder, the wondrous nearer drew. Hands bustled at the moorings, the crowd respectful grew. Ascended from our vision to countenances new. A difference, a daisy, is all the rest I knew. Angels in the early morning may be seen, the dews among, stooping, plucking, smiling, flying. Do the buds to them belong? Angels, when the sun is hottest, may be seen, the sands among, stooping, plucking, sighing, flying, parched, the flowers they bear along. My nosegays are for captives, dim, long, expectant eyes, fingers denied the plucking, patient till paradise. To such if they should whisper of morning and the moor, they bear no other errand, and I no other prayer. Sexton, my master is sleeping here. Pray lead me to his bed. I came to build the bird's nest and sow the early seed, that when the snow creeps slowly from off his chamber door, daisies point the way there, and the troubadour. The rainbow never tells me that gust and storm are by, yet is she more convincing than philosophy? My flowers turn from forums, yet eloquent declare what Cato couldn't prove me, except the birds were here. One dignity delays for all, one mitred afternoon. None can avoid this purple, none evade this crown. Coach it ensures, and footman, chamber, and state, and throng, bells also in the village as we ride grand along. What dignified attendance, what service when we pause, how loyally at parting their 100 hats they raise. How pomp surpassing ermine, when simple you and I present our meek escutcheon and claim the rank to die. New feet within my garden go, new fingers stir the sod. A troubadour upon the elm betrays the solitude. New children play upon the green, new wearies sleep below, and still the pensive spring returns, and still the punctual snow. 100. A science, so the savants say, comparative anatomy, by which a single bone is made a secret to unfold of some rare tenet of the mold, else perished in the stone. So to the eye perspective led, this meekest flower of the mead upon a winter's day stands representative in gold of rose and lily, manifold and countless butterfly.